We're going to move on to our next comic. You ready for my other co-host of the Robbinsville Trainwreck? She is our in-house resident female comedian, but there she is. She's great. She's moving on in the world. She's getting up in the comedy world. She's over a year old now, comedy-wise. Give it up for the comedy stylings of Miss Lynn Evans.
Yeah, I'm about the height of a 1-year-old too, so there you go. Thanks for coming out, everybody. I love seeing that we have some new faces in the crowd. This is great. If you haven't been to one of these shows, I just want to make sure you understand I am not 12. I know that's hard to believe, and it's a common misconception. Last week, I had to change my number. Woody Allen wouldn't stop calling me. You believe that? Thank God they caught that Jared bastard. Imagine going out to dinner, right? And you get offered the children's menu, but you're old enough to buy alcohol. I took the crayons, though. Don't judge me. There are certain things I can get away with that other people can't, normal-sized people. For example, I have a Smurfette costume for my boudoir. Oh yeah, it's hot, a little lace. I mean, the blue paint gets everywhere, but you know what? That's okay. Sometimes it's fun to pretend. Besides, if you don't have to wash the sheets afterwards, you're not doing it right. Oh boy. I'll tell you, my autobiography is not going to be a book. It's going to be a short story, and it's going to be called... Can you get that? So like Kurt said, I am on the Robbinsville Trainwreck every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Shameless plug. It's on HamiltonRadio.net, and Jean is here, and it's awesome. Thank you for coming, and you have your lovely child who just got here, and your lovely wife. They're a great family, great people. No, I'm not sucking up. The studio that we actually, do the show in, it's a really cool looking room, and it has kind of like a tapered ceiling, and it is the only room on this planet where I actually stand a chance of hitting my head on the ceiling. That makes me feel good inside. I know we got couples here tonight. It's nice. How long have you guys been together? No, yeah, you're looking at, no, it's you. 2.5 years. Did you guys move in together? Yeah, you look too happy to be living together. There's a reason, we don't, my boyfriend and I don't look happy though. It's because I haven't friggin' slept since we moved in together. Because he snores so loudly, it sounds like we're running industrial machinery in the apartment at night. One night the neighbors actually called the cops. But I was glad they came out, because I too wanted to complain about the noise. You know how some women go after the bad boy, right? They want that dangerous guy. You know what's dangerous about mine? His gas. You laugh, it could be weaponized. I'm surprised they don't try him at The Hague every time he eats sauerkraut. It's unreal. But no, I didn't go after the dangerous guy. No, I went after a musician. But not, I know what you're thinking, he's not like a guitarist or a drummer. Oh no. I went after the bagpiper. Ladies, you have not lived until you have heard Careless Whisper on the bagpipes outside your bedroom window at 4 o'clock in the morning. That is romance. They say every girl's crazy about a sharp-dressed man, and I went after the guy in the skirt. I gotta be honest, common sense, not so common anymore. I feel like we should stop calling it that, right? Especially in corporate America. Is anybody else privileged to work in an office corporate environment? Yeah, that's a lot of fun. I know you do. I actually work with you. So she knows the kind of crazy we deal with on a daily basis. But corporate America, it can be a confusing place to navigate sometimes. Am I right? I once had someone tell me that if I wanted to advance and be promoted, that I should dress for the job I want, not the job I have. Bye, girls. Have a good night. Bye. Thank you. They're awesome. Nice people. Give them a round of applause. Round of applause. But I'll tell you, dress for the job you want, not the job you have. Okay. So I came in the next day dressed as Harry Potter. I'll tell you, I don't think that drug test they gave me was so random. But I will say that I walked into that disciplinary meeting like a boss. You'll see some stuff in an office environment, and you wouldn't think so. Like, it kind of looks like it's not that an exciting place, but it really is. We had this guy show up to an interview in what I can only describe as a blue pimp suit, with alligator shoes that were so long and tapered at the end. It's like they rounded the corner 10 minutes before he did. And his hair was done, it was like slicked down in the front, but he had this jerry curl thing going on in the back. Yes, that's right, the white girl knows what a jerry curl is. Try not to faint. And he said, listen, I'm dressed this way because I'm mourning for Prince and I wanted to honor him. Sir, I'm going to be honest with you, if Prince could see you now and hear you make that statement, the last thing he would be is honored, okay? Anybody ever hate their job?
Yeah.
Oh, tell me about it, right? It sucks. It sucks. I sympathize. I had a job that I hated so much that I became physically aroused at the thought of quitting. It was awkward. I had to tell people I was cold, okay? Normal women are, jilling off to Channing Tatum, and here I am over here double-clicking my mouse while typing a letter of resignation with one hand. Speaking of jilling off, while we're on the subject, gentlemen, are you familiar with the concept of the spank bank? You see something hot and you kind of take that information and you file it away for later personal use, right? Now, if you men, it's 2016, okay? If you men can have a spank bank, then I say we ladies can have a Jill Till. Am I right? Crystal gave me a thumbs up. Awesome. I got an amen. Oh boy. So here's a disturbing fact. I'm an aunt, which means that I could potentially influence the mind of the next generation. I know, be afraid, be very afraid. I'm actually going to be an aunt for the second time. And I find it interesting because when my sister was pregnant with her first child, we had a shower for her, as in we're going to shower you with gifts and attention, right? Well, last week we had something, for the second child, but it was a sprinkle. That sets the tone from the beginning, doesn't it, folks? I feel like the second child is like the so what, seen it child, you know what I mean? Like, oh, Lynn's saying her first words, so what, seen it. Lynn's taking her first steps, so what, seen it. Lynn's doing stand-up comedy and making fun of our entire family in front of rooms full of strangers. Bet you ain't seen that, have ya? So the rest of the reason that I'm up here, you just heard the first bit of it, second child. I'm not bitter, that's okay. My mom, I love my mom, don't get me wrong, but she's crazy. She retired, she lives in Florida, and she needed something to do. Dear God, she needed something to do, okay? So she started getting involved with her church, which is great, it's great. But then she started taking up the hobby of hitting up the shooting range and, shooting at targets. Be afraid, be very, very, very afraid. My mom is packing heat. But she's so enthusiastic about, her shooting hobby and, being involved in the church that she started a gun club within the church and called it God's Grannies with Guns. Because that doesn't sound like a militant cult at all. That's right, we're God's Grannies with Guns. That's not really how she talks, that's just how I've internalized her after 33 years. We are God's Grannies with Guns, and we are going to bust a cap in some heathen asses. Bang! That was for the Lord. Folks, thank you so much for laughing with me tonight. Once again, I'm going to hand you back to our co-host, Kurt Zimmerman. Woo!